Our YouTube fam, I want to show you something. This is the type of Oregon sunset I grew up with. So yeah, let me give you an update. I've got at least 10 people, several of note, meaning a couple doctors and people of standing in the medical community, reach out to Coin 6 to interview me, because some of them have been there for part of my story. Like, these people have witnessed my story. So let me give you a recap of what makes my story unique, right? First grade cured my own speech impediment. If my mother's to be believed, I've been studying other human beings since I was born. She said, and I quote, "You lifted your head," no, they set you on my stomach, and you somehow lifted your head and looked at me with your baby blue eyes. And ever since then, you followed me everywhere, every time I came into a room. It's close to almost exact. First grade, I cured my own speech impediment, the same speech impediment my sister had. And I identified it by realizing, okay, when people laugh, it's either they're laughing at somebody or with somebody. And keep in mind, I'm like 5, 6 years old. So I put 2 and 2 together, I keep my mouth shut, and then I start talking to somebody, and I notice they change. They start smiling and laughing. Turns out I wasn't doing my hard consonants. So it was I think, not, it was I think, not I think, and it was dat, not that. And so I practiced copying everybody else until I got good at speaking, or skilled. Third grade, I tested 138 IQ. And in some categories, I tested off the charts. When it came to spatial awareness, as well as geometric awareness, yeah, off the charts. Auditory listening and hearing, off the charts. Other stuff, superior to more than superior. But that was also like 2 years before I ended up getting kicked out of 5th grade. So I was expelled from Salem Academy. 3rd grade, I was the bad student because I was the brightest, but for example, I was reverse engineering the math problems that I was doing. So I wasn't showing the math that they wanted, and so I was marked wrong, even though my answers were always right and always the fastest. And it's funny, 3rd grade for me and the 3rd grade for Einstein, we both screwed up on math. Like, I think that's hilarious. He's one of my kind too, he's an autist. Same thing with Nikola Tesla. And as far as Edison goes, if I could find his grave, I would drink gratuitously before visiting it, because he took somebody special away from us, or basically condemned him to poverty, Nikola Tesla. Anywho, let's see. 5th grade, I got expelled because my grandmother's birthday is the 4th of July, and I said, hey, I want to study stuff. So I dug up online the Anarchist Cookbook and so on and so forth. People flipped out, and it was a year after Thurston High, so I got kicked out. And of course, Salem Academy, that's the well-to-do place. Fast forward, 7th grade, well, my father has a heart attack, sells his business, RH Factor Insurance in Salem. And, well, I skipped something. He built his business from scratch. He's where I learned my work ethic from. That's why I work until I drop. Because we start out in a church parsonage for Christ Lutheran Church. No joke, I was originally raised on Goodwill toys. So anyway, fast forward to Washington. I'm a piece of salt and a pepper shaker, seriously. I went from being the vast majority to being the minority. So that was an experience. Plus, I was sheltered. I was deeply sheltered. So I get there, and I'm awkward as all get out through 7th grade. 8th grade, a buddy of mine named Chris basically takes me under his wing. He sees an awkward kid, and he has the patience to teach me what other people are thinking and why they're thinking that. He and Isaac became practically my brothers. And they taught me so much about how to communicate with people, and then it got to the point where I was the one teaching them how to date. Because I studied pretty much everything about dating, because I thought women were attractive. First girlfriend, 8th grade. No joke, my first kiss ruined every kiss until my last girlfriend. every kiss. It's one of those that was so perfect that, ugh. Anywho, so 10th grade rolls around. I take one of the most beautiful girls in school, and she's in 12th grade, I'm in 10th grade, and everybody was like, wait, what happened there? Oh, ninth grade, I cracked in front of 1,300 students. Star Spangled Banner started me off about a third of an octave too high. I cracked on Rocket's Red Glare, cussed into the mic. And then as the principal and vice principal were looking at each other like, do we pull him off the stage? I just finished in falsetto, like the show must go on. You do it. I joined salsa club. Um, shoot. I dropped out of track to join the step team because one dude, 18 girls, one hot tub. You do the math. No joke, I was that guy. Like, I went from super awkward to super player. And the guys who teased me the most, I stole their girlfriends in about 9th to 10th grade. About 10th grade. No joke. And I was just vindictive. That's all it was. It was just vindication. So, step team and all of that, that was a blast. Fast forward to my prom. So, a lady I was chasing, we'll call her Susie the homemaker. I've had a crush on her since 8th grade. But prom's rolling around, right? So I'm chasing her, but my 7th and 8th grade crushes are my friends at this point. So what am I going to do? How do I top my last prom at 10th grade? I take both my 7th and 8th grade crushes, and they're still hot. I know that's beside the point. I'm just kind of bragging a little bit, because who has that story? On a broken foot, because Susie the homemaker said, you can't throw me. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Thunk. She was lighter than I thought. I was stronger than I thought. She ends up, I'm aiming for the bed. She bounces off the wall, then hits the bed with my bag of college books, because I'm doing running start, crushes my foot, takes off all the toes. My foot is very clearly broken. But I have 2 dates to prom. And I have a white pimp cane with a blue marble ball. I have the white suit with the blue vest. They got the white dresses with the blue corsages. And because my father packed 8 cold ones. It was 2 things of 4 or 2, I don't know. It was 2 of those little thingy majiggers that he bought at the corner store. Anywho, he's painting my grandmother's car that I inherited. And instead of blue, he decides, hey, I'm going to go white. I draw the stencil. I didn't know what the stencil was for. He basically puts the stencil on there, paints white, and leaves the blue that was already there. So I have 3 blue birds on each side and 1 on the back, and when it was cold, the car would chirp. He got a kick out of it. And I had to take my prom dates in it. So what you think I'm doing? It's white with blue birds. And I got white with blue and white with blue. And then the white cane with the blue marble ball. Only the cane turned out to be a blessing because I had a legitimate limp. I threw my foot in a Safeway bag so I wouldn't have to pay for the shoe afterwards. And I went to prom, baby. In front of those same 1,300 students that I cracked in front of. So fast forward, 18 rolls around. In the same conversation, I'm talking to my dad and saying, hey, I want to take a semester off of full-time work, full-time social life, full-time college, and just, shop universities, figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life. He said, no, you're going to be in college right now. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to go for. You're doing it now, or you're out of my house.